My next guest takes on Reza Madadi at UFC Fight Night 107 coming up here on March 18th. Irish Joe Duffy joins me here on the program for the very first time. Joe, what's going on?
Not a pile, man. Not a pile. Training, eating, sleeping, normal stuff.
Yeah, the everyday thing. And this is the first time I've had you on the show. Always curious to hear, sort of the backstory of fighters. How did you end up getting involved in combat sports?
I've been involved in this since I was a young age. I started Taekwondo when I was 5. I was doing all points fighting, kickboxing tournaments pretty much every weekend. And then just with the same gym, I started learning jiu-jitsu and competing in jiu-jitsu competitions, grappling competitions, and I just kind of ended up in MMA, I suppose.
Yeah, it was kind of like a transition, right? Like you do the one thing and then eventually it leads you to mixed martial arts. And I think a lot of people out in North America especially remember you from season 12 of The Ultimate Fighter. I know that was ages ago, but what was that experience like for you?
It was good and bad. I think obviously, like I had my hopes up. I was, I was still young at the time, and I definitely felt the pressure. I felt I didn't perform to my best by no means on the show, but it was definitely the boot I needed to make some career changes. Like I started fighting on Cage Warriors then, so Cage Warriors got me ready for the big octagon, the big lights, and all that type of stuff. And by the time the UFC came knocking, I felt like I was ready for it then. So it was definitely good and bad. Obviously difficult to take when I didn't get onto the full show.
Do you still keep in touch with anyone from that cast at all?
No, not at all. I think because I didn't get into the house, it wasn't like I was living with these guys and I created that bond. It was I fought my fight and that was it. I went home.
And one thing I've always wanted to know, how did you end up going to Tristar? Was it because of that show? Because I know St. Pierre was a coach that season, or was there another reason how you ended up training at Tristar?
No, it was actually through one of my coaches, Eric O'Keefe.
Okay.
Him and my manager were talking. He manages Tom Breeze also. So that was the link between Tristar and me, and it just came about. Obviously, I was always a huge fan of George, and I loved their way of doing things. So I just felt Tristar was a good fit.
Yeah, and I remember you were sort of the first big name guy to come over and train at Tristar, and now we see an influx of other fighters. You mentioned Tom Breeze, Stevie Ray trains there from time to time. Joanne Calderwood's there now. Do you feel like you've kind of like influenced all these people to kind of come over and be like, hey, Canada's not so bad?
Well, Stevie and Tom was actually over before I was.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were both over before me. So, like I said, it was more like with my manager and everything through Tom that I got here. But I definitely feel it is a good place for the guys from Europe. Obviously, we got Arnie over, who's fighting on the same show. Jojo's over, and there's been a lot of guys coming over from Europe. And I feel like when they come over, they really settle in well. I think Montreal's a good spot as well for people from Europe, because it's very similar. The personalities and the banter's the same, I suppose.
Yeah, and Montreal, for those who don't know, it's kind of like the most European city you're going to find in Canada. Like, there's nothing like it. It's one of my favorite cities to go to. Definitely, enjoy going there when I can. What do you love about Montreal? What do you hate about Montreal?
I would say this. I would say the only thing I hate about being in Montreal is obviously I miss my family and friends, back home. Being so far away, it makes it difficult. But other than that, I love Montreal. It's I think the people are so nice. Everyone's laid back, and I really love the gym I'm training at. There's such a good group of people. It really does feel like another family there.
See, I thought you were going to say the weather wasn't good, because I know it gets really cold there in the winter, especially with all the snow and everything.
Yeah, that's it. It's definitely cold, but I suppose like coming from Europe, like we wouldn't get the snow to the degree we get here. So I'm still at the stage where when it snows, I get a little bit excited. So that's not too bad. Obviously, the days it's like -20. I'm definitely feeling it, but I'll put up with that. I'm still enjoying it at the minute.
Yeah, that's great. You're still going back and forth between Montreal and then going back home, right? Or are you actually looking to make Montreal sort of a permanent home for you at some point?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm here most of the time. Obviously, like I haven't got a visa or anything because I'm not working here. I'm just here training. But I'm here, most of my time. I only really go home after fights and or any events coming up, that type of thing. So, I'm pretty much here full time anyway. But it'll definitely be a permanent move for me.
Let's talk about your last fight, UFC Fight Night 90. You get the 25-second win over Mitch Clark. Could that have gone any better with that fight? And, going to Vegas, big stage, and you get the big win there.
No, that was a huge relief. After coming off the Poirier loss, I needed to get back in the game. I needed to show my skills, and in a short fight, I think I showed a decent amount of skills. So, that was a big relief for me. The camp couldn't have gone any better. Everything about the fight, like the cut, everything went so well. So it was a huge relief to get that win, and obviously, get back in the game.
Let's talk about your opponent here, Reza Madadi, 14-4. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Yeah, very well. He's well rounded. He's not scared of anyone anywhere. He's the type of opponent that I like to face. Someone who's really going to test your character. You're in for a hard night, and it makes it easy to prepare for these kind of guys because if you're not putting in the work, then you're gonna get found out on the night. So I feel like I match up well. Same as every fight, I'm confident everywhere. So we'll see how it all plays out in the night.
And you mentioned sort of taking the pressure off in your last fight, getting sort of an impressive win there, quick win and everything like that. But this fight, it's your last fight under UFC contract. How do you sort of deal with that? Because, you want to go out there and obviously get a pretty impressive win to go off that contract.
I think simple, really. I just got to beat the man that's in front of me. He's never been stopped. All his fights, he's never been submitted, never been knocked out. So again, I think that takes the pressure off in a sense because there's no expectation to finish this guy. He's been there with some of the best guys, upset some of the best guys, and I think all my emphasis has got to be on just going in and getting that win. And I know I got my hands full with that, so no pressure.
Absolutely. How's the weight cut going? Getting down to lightweight for this fight?
Yeah, it's good. Not as good as last time. Like last time, I seemed to have everything seemed to go my way. It's been a bit more difficult this time. I'm definitely walking around a bit heavier out of camp. I seem to put on some size, so it's difficult, but it's one of them. I like to make it hard during camp. I'll diet hard and I'll make sure my weight's done, and then in the cut, then the cut's going to be easy, and I'm not. There's no point putting in all that training if I'm going to ruin it on the cut. Dehydrate myself to the point where I can't fight or I can't perform. So it's always a bit miserable when you're cutting your food and your calories and everything. But it's a part of the game, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the cut to start. Once the cut starts, all this thoughts disappear, I suppose.
And I know Tristar is a pretty big gym, but who are some of your main training partners helping you get ready for this fight?
I would say I've had a lot of guys. Some of the guys aren't as well known. One of the guys I would like to thank a lot is Mandel Nallo.
Yes, he was supposed to fight for the victory title back in December, and then he got injured. I actually had the pleasure of speaking to him. Very underrated guy. I'm glad you plugged him here because he's a great guy.
Yeah, I remember watching that, funny enough. Yeah, he's incredible. What a talent. He's, I think in the next year or two, everyone's going to know this guy's name because he's unbelievable. Very experienced, helps me a lot in the gym. Since I come to TriStar, he's helped me a lot. So I can't thank him enough. Obviously, I've been working with Faraz. When we're up helping him and get ready, me and Mandel were getting lots of work in, and Faraz was overseeing that, so that was huge. Eamon's coming out with me as well, so him and Faraz will be in the corner. So, I'm lucky. I'm surrounded by good guys, and we actually got Rustam Kapilov.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw something on social media about that. It must be nice having him in there too, because he's a great grappler.
100%, 100%. You know, I got some rounds in with him the other day, and you know, I really feel working with someone of that caliber is going to help as well. So, you know, we're lucky. We're in such a good gym that you know, we've got all these names and faces coming through the door all the time, and you know, it's so beneficial for us. So, you know, training is going well. I'm excited now.
And the morale must be pretty high at TriStar right now. Eamon's coming off the big win in Halifax. Elias Theodoro's coming off a win, and then George back in the UFC. I mean, things must be great right now at the gym.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone's enjoying their training. You know, I just like Eamon's camp for this fight was probably the best camp I've ever seen anyone do. He pushed it to the max. He covered every area, all the points he thought might be an issue in the fight. It was incredible. You know, it was quite inspiring. So, you know, following watching that camp, you know, it made it easy to get inspired for my camp. So, you know, like I said, having these kind of guys around, it's easy to get motivated for your sessions.
March 18th, what's your prediction? How do you see this fight unfolding coming up here at UFC Fight Night 107?
I'm not really one for predictions, to be honest, but I see it being a very tough fight. You know, 3 rounds. Like I said, he's never been stopped, and I think it's one of them fights where I gotta fight for every little position, every little scramble, and you know, I'm quite excited. I think it's going to be a 3-round. I think it's probably going to be a decision, but I think it's going to be a back and forth fight where I'm going to have to show a lot of heart. So I'm excited about it.
All right, before I let you go here, just have a couple more questions. Do you ever see yourself having a rematch with Conor McGregor?
I think when I first signed, I thought it was something that might happen, but no, not anymore. I don't think that fight will happen now.
But he'll stay in lightweight. I'm pretty sure. Like, he's not going. I think he's done at featherweight at this point. I mean, they took the title away from him, anyways.
Well, yeah, like he's got the title, but I suppose, you know, MMA wise, I don't know if there's. I think he'll be more interested in the kind of super fights.
Right.
I think, like if he comes back and, you know, fights Khabib and Ferguson, you know, obviously great fights. Definitely fights I would love to watch. But you know, I think he's got everything to lose in them fights. Whereas, you know, the likes of the Woodley, you know, them type of fights, I think he's got more to gain with them sort of fights. So I think if he comes back, it'll be for something.
Very interesting. With a last name like Duffy, do people on social media ever, you know, make the connection between the Duff Man on The Simpsons?
Yeah, quite regular.
Okay.
Zach Markovsky's always called me Duffman, so I get it plenty.
So did you know about Duffman before people started calling you that?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, good.
100%.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if The Simpsons, if you watched that growing up or not, but yeah, it's. I thought that was kind of funny. Sticking with television, are you a Netflix guy at all?
I am. I use my girlfriend's Netflix all the time.
Okay, great. What are you watching right now? If I log into your account right now, what's it going to say under continue watching?
I've been watching a lot of Bates Motel lately,
cool.
which is I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. Like, sometimes it makes me awkward. It's weird, but and before that I was watching Frequency. I think it's quite a new one. But I really enjoyed that. It was easy watching, you know. I sat down and you know, I kind of, it was one of them ones I got hooked on. So, you know, Frequency. But I watch a lot of series. I was watching Westworld, obviously Vikings. You know, any of these kind of series I'm big into, to be honest.
So you like to go from multiple shows. Like, you can, like, I know some people, like my wife, for example, she just wants to stay on one show and stick with it, but you like getting a variety in there, if I'm hearing you correctly.
Well, to be honest, I've finished all the other ones, so I'm generally on one, but like, I watch some with my girlfriend and then I watch some on my own. So like, me and my girlfriend were watching Blacklist, and then some of the other stuff I'll watch on my own. Like, I'm getting close to finish Bates Motel now, so I'll probably go on to something else. So you know, during the day, like in between sessions, I'll watch something. You know?
Gotcha. Yeah, I totally hear you on that. And I can't wait for this fight, Joseph. UFC Fight Night 107 coming up here on March 18th. Thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you on social media? And if you got any thank yous, shout outs, sponsors, anything like that, the floor is yours.
They can find me on social media on Duffy MMA on Instagram, Duffy underscore MMA on Twitter, and I think it's just Joe Duffy, my fan page on Facebook. Um, Huge thanks to everyone at TriStar. Obviously, without all the guys in the gym, there's no way you could get so prepared for a fight. Big thanks for Eamon, my manager Graham Boylan, my sponsors Nutrition Fit Plus, provide me with food and everything, making my cut easy, and Scramble Fight Gear. And like I said, a big shout out to Mandel. He's helped me a hell of a lot in this camp, so I want to give him a special mention.